This is Agbabloshi, a suburb of Accra, the capital of Ghana. But local residents have given it a nickname, Sodom and Gomorrah. It's of the biggest electronic waste dump and is a livelihood for many. First it feeds them, then it kills them. This is one of the most polluted areas with toxins and toxic metals on the African continent.
This one copies.
Emmanuel Akandirike has spent his entire childhood at the dump site. He's never been to school, so he can't go elsewhere. For him, this job is the only way to sustain himself.
I'm 14 years. Say, you will clone and papa demimbaha. No cook massy. Or cook mass no jam or no mimbaha and baba yajuma. No kacham say, me yajumana a yaka crow beba. Baba ne a quick cool.
Ghanaian laws forbid Emmanuel to work at all until he comes of age. But no one pays any attention.
And you see the small children, those who work here now, some of them don't have parents. Some of them father died, some of them their mothers died, and some of them their mothers are there, but they don't take care of them. You know, as a small boy, and some of them they can't work here. After 12, they will go back to school. And some of them, they don't go to school at all. When they close school, they will come here. Some of them, early in the morning, they will come here, pick the iron, go and sell, get your money, go to school.
Naka company baby omuwe ya obetuma ye na me de me ya mintimi nyesika ni me se me sisa ade na mituma kwakoton kamituma ye 200
This money, which is equal to $3 to $5, will allow Emmanuel to have at least one meal a day. Electronic waste comes to Ghana from the USA, Australia, Western Europe and Asia to the tune of hundreds of tons per year. There's enough work here at the dump site for everyone. Waste collectors, as well as those whose job it is to
The ones which are dealing with the e-waste, they know all that and they calculate all that. And if they give them, let's say, 5 or 8 Ghana cedis a day so that they can more or less survive.
At a scrapyard in the Ghanaian capital Accra, workers burn electronic cables to extract precious metals. Electronic products with a large quantity of copper are highly sought after by scrap dealers.
Yeah, if we get a chance, someone dispose computer items, we do buy so that we scrap it as aluminium copper. We burn it to the copper inside. When we burn, the smoke is proving that disease, so we doesn't like it so. So we need the smoke should come down so that when we burn it, we won't face any difficulty from the smoke for sick.
Workers, both adults and children, sift through the ashes for scraps of metal. When it rains, ashes flush into nearby ponds and rivers where animals graze. Across the scrapyard, hundreds of workers take apart electronic products. Only the parts containing copper, such as electric cables, as well as metal and plastic casings are kept for recycling. The rest are dumped or burnt, as there are hardly any e-waste recycling facilities in the country to process them. A specialist team from Greenpeace visited the area to study the impact of e-waste on the workers' health and the environment. Greenpeace scientist Kevin Brigden says the toxic content of electronics could have dire consequences on those who are repeatedly exposed to them.
Heavy metals present in some devices, such as lead, cadmium and mercury, are highly toxic, even at low doses. They can have effects on the nervous system, on the kidneys and other organs. Of particular concern is the effects of lead and mercury on the developing nervous system in children. Other chemicals, including some brominated flame retardants, can build up in our bodies through repeat exposures, and for some there's evidence of long-term effects, including on brain development, the hormone and immune systems. Many of the chemicals present in electronic devices are environmentally persistent. That is, once released, they will remain in the environment for long periods of time.
Ghana is rapidly becoming one of the favored destinations for obsolete computers and other electronic waste from developed countries. Open-air markets selling second-hand goods are thriving across the country. Hundreds of containers filled with electronic goods arrive at ports along the coast. Many of them come from developed countries such as the Netherlands, the UK, Germany, and the United States. Local experts say much of the electronic products arriving in West Africa are declared as second-hand goods. But in reality, the majority of them are e-waste.
The bulk of the computers that are shipped here, the old, obsolete, second-hand computers are broken. They just don't work. So why would anybody want to give us computers that don't work? It is dumping and nothing more.
A large part of second-hand electronic goods come from Europe and the United States. Old CRT monitors are discarded as many prefer stylish flat-screen TVs. At dump sites, names of institutions such as United States Environmental Protection Agency and other institutions from countries like Norway, Denmark, and the Netherlands are found on discarded cases. The monitors of well-known global brands litter the area.
People in the developed countries bring them here ostensibly to bridge the digital gap. But in actual fact, they are creating a digital dump. We don't need all these obsolete computers because of the health and environmental implications.
Local authorities worry that e-waste dumping could become a major problem because there are no laws to regulate e-waste trade and recycling in Ghana.
We can't predict for now, but for years to come it could be a problem because gradually computers are creeping into our backyard. Other electronic gadgets that are home used are all coming in, and let me say the future could be bleak if care is not taken to come up with control measures.
Today, dumping of hazardous waste from developed countries to developing nations is prohibited under the Basel Convention. EU law also prohibits the export of e-waste to non-OECD countries like Ghana. Yet there is a loophole used for exports from EU, declaring the e-waste as second-hand goods. Environmental campaigners say laws alone cannot stop the growing e-waste trade in West Africa.
Electronics producers should take responsibility by banning toxic chemicals from their products, and they should take back their products and recycle them in a proper way when they become waste. Only then can they prevent their products from ending up in developing countries like Ghana, where they pollute the environment and harm people's health.
Young workers played football after a long day at the scrapyard. Most of them come from poorer areas in the northern part of Ghana, as well as neighboring countries. They are the ones who suffer the most from repeatedly being exposed to toxic chemicals. They do not have any idea how toxic chemicals affect their health in a long term.
We do not have the facilities to recycle them. They are killing our people because they contain very heavy toxic metals that are not desirable for our health and also the environment. They are fouling the environment for generations and generations to come. There is no way that we can deal with these problems.
This is Agbogbloshie dump, 1.6 kilometers square, just 10 minutes drive from the center of Accra, the Ghanaian capital. Every month, tons of old electrical equipment arrive here from the US and Europe. Men, women and children pick it over, searching for scrap metals that can then be resold. But at the same time, they expose themselves to the waste's highly toxic materials like lead and phosphorus gas. Those materials have made this site, according to environmental NGO Green Cross, one of the most polluted places on Earth.
It's just a poisoned graveyard of electronic waste. The ground, the soils are filled with toxic chemicals, lead, brominated flame retardants, cadmium, dioxins, furans, all the toxic chemicals that cause a wide range of diseases, and is all the result of the illegal shipments and dumping of e-waste here by the industrialist countries.
There are international laws banning the export of electronic waste, but they can be sidestepped by labelling shipments usable second-hand goods. Some are resold, but the majority gets dumped here.
The fire that's going on behind me is being burnt in order to get to the precious metals that's contained within plastic cabling. Now, we've been at this site for about an hour and those fumes are already getting into our mouth, into our eyes, into our nose. And as I've said, we've just been here for an hour. Imagine what that is doing to people who've been here day in, day out for months, even years.
People like 13-year-old Kaburi. He's been working at the dump for 5 years, on weekends and after school. He breaks old TV sets to get the aluminium frame. He can normally sell that for about 20 cents. And after buying food, he's already planned what he will do with the money.
I want to be a footballer, but right now as I'm standing here, I'm playing team. I want money to buy boots, that is why I'm standing here. If I get maybe 5 CD or 10 CD, I'll buy boots just here, I'll take it home. And I've been playing the football small. Maybe I'll grow, I'll be like Michael Essien or Lampard. That is what I'm doing.
The Ghanaian government has strongly condemned the illegal dumping of electronic waste here, but as yet has offered no solutions about how to clean up the problem. Katerina Vitozzi for CCTV in Accra, Ghana.